Joint pains, how to heal it the natural way. I'm Allan Wohrnitz, nutrition expert. Today's topic is how to use nutrition and supplements to help reduce joint pains and reverse joints and joint damage. So joints would be in the knees, would be in the back, your vertebrae, your discs, your arm, your elbows, your fingers, your legs, your hips, your toes, all the areas where there are joints. So here's a little diagram here that I'm going to show with the bone here, and in the green is the cartilage and the blue is the tendons. The tendons are keeping the bones together, and the cartilage is just to keep the lubrication so that the bones don't touch the bones, because if it's bone to bone it becomes a very painful thing, and added to that there's inflammation, so it swells, so all these things happen. So now, how does actually joints become painful? If you've had an injury from sports, you could have ruptured your tendons, or you could have damaged your cartilage. That is what happens, and then when that happens and the body goes into a healing process, it actually has to induce inflammation, because inflammation is a way of clearing up the area of debris, because whenever there's an injury, there's debris, there's waste, there's like broken cells, dead cells. Inflammation is induced to remove these dead cells and clear up the area so that new stem cells will come and do the rebuilding. That's what happens in the normal process of repair. So when you are when you're 15 years old, 20 years old, 25 years old, this process is very fast. It actually happens quite rapidly when your stem cells are active at that time. As you get older, by the time you're 60, your stem cells are only working at 10%, which means if you have this problem now, it takes a long time to heal, probably never heals. So you have constant pain, constant inflammation, and I will explain to you how to address this properly. So how cartilage is made, cartilage actually can be rebuilt. Yes, you can rebuild cartilage, but there's a way of doing it, which I'm going to explain to you how to do it and what are the materials you need to do to rebuild it. So before cartilage can be built, you have to produce collagen. Before collagen can be produced, you have to have the nutrients available. So the main nutrients for the production of collagen is lysine and proline. These are two amino acids that you get out of protein. When you eat your meats, your fish, all the proteins, if you're vegetarian, then you get proteins from your vegetarian foods as well. So you have to provide these amino acids, and in the presence of vitamin C, which is an antioxidant and at the same time is a catalyst. In other words, it helps the production. It doesn't involve, is not inside collagen, but it has to be present to catalyze, in other words, to produce the chemical reaction. So the production of collagen is made from lysine and proline. These are the two main ingredients that you need to have to make collagen. And then from collagen will turn into cartilage. But you have to have these present. To make cartilage, you have to have a base for cartilage, glucosamine, chondroitin, and also MSM. These are the nutrients. You can also get these nutrients out of food. So if you're eating healthy and your food is being digested properly, you will have. Now, before all this can happen and come and do the repair, you have to remove the inflammation. The inflammation has to be controlled. When there's uncontrolled inflammation, what it does, it goes and eats up your cartilage, it eats up your tendons. So now it gets worse and worse and worse. Not only that, if you've been eating a lot of junk and you haven't given your body the chance to remove calcium where it belongs, calcium should be going into the bones, or calcium should be kept in suspension for communication between the cells. What happens is calcium gets deposited on the cartilage. That is the onset of arthritis. So to remove arthritis, you have to remove the calcium deposits out. That is done with vitamin K2. K2 will come and take the calcium and remove it out. So now you are creating an environment where there's no calcium to irritate the thing. Another thing that could actually damage your cartilage and damage your bones is uric acid crystals, which is gout. So the uric acid crystal is like a needle which goes in between your bones. The needle goes in between your bones and creates excruciating pain. And when there's pain, inflammation starts. So uric acid has to be dissolved. There's a way of dissolving uric acid. It's actually because in the lack of vitamin B5. So if you add up your B5, the uric acid will dissolve and become urea, which would turn into urine. So that's the thing. So there's more information on this. I have written an article which is going to be given in the link below after the video, which you can go and read further as to how to remove arthritis by removing the calcium deposit, how to handle the inflammation, how to remove uric acid crystals. And with inflammation, the main ingredients is vitamin C, vitamin B5, B complex, omega-3. This is what will control the inflammation. Now that you've got that in place now, you need new stem cells. So if you're 50 or 60 years old, your stem cell activity is very low, which means this does not get fixed. Maybe the pain will go away, but your mobility is not there and there'll still be some pain. How do you now move to the next level of getting your body to go through this process of production of cartilage and help it produce it? That is done with stem cell activity. So this is where we come with this product called, there's this patch is called LifeWave X39. The X39 activates your body and brings your body's levels of stem cells to the same level as you were when you were 20 years old. As I said earlier, when you were 20 years old, your stem cell activity was so high that repair gets done. But by the time you're 60, no repair. So that's the reason you're finding yourself, your arthritis is not going, your joint pains are not going, and it becomes a painful issue. And if you're loving sports, you want to play tennis, you want to play golf, and you are being impacted by that, and you're having to take anti-inflammatories or you're having to take painkillers, how long can you do this? You can't do this for long because eventually this is going to be completely damaged and then you become immobile. Worst scenario, you end up in a wheelchair. You don't want to do this. So start now and use your X39 and that will start rebuilding your stem cells. Now when there's inflammation, there's another patch you take, is Eon. Eon helps control the inflammation. So as long as you've got your B, C, B5, B complex, which is producing the anti-inflammatories naturally, this one helps the control of the inflammation so that there's a control system, so that because what happens is stem cells get destroyed in the presence of inflammation, of uncontrolled inflammation. So now you are taking X39, you're producing stem cells. When they arrive here and there's inflammation, it gets destroyed. How do you prevent the destruction? This is what will help prevent the destruction. So you take that. So if you've got pain and you want some pain relief, there's another patch you can take which is called a pain patch. This is just for relief. It does not take the pain away completely, but it has helped many people get instant pain relief for a little while. But to get you permanent pain relief, you have to rebuild your cartilage and remove the inflammation, then the pain will go away. Another thing you have to have is glutathione. Glutathione is a master antioxidant, which is a protective mechanism here. It protects the body from having germs, viruses coming in and busy eating up your cells. So glutathione is made by the liver, and it's also an antioxidant which actually recycles your vitamin C. So as long as you've got vitamin C being recycled, then your production of cartilage and collagen keeps happening and it keeps rebuilding, and eventually you regain your cartilage in your bone. So it doesn't matter what your age is. So this is how it works. So to produce glutathione, I have found that many people at an elder age, between 40s, 50s and 60s, their liver is actually not in good order. We do a liver cleanse. I explain how to do that. You do a liver cleanse, and in supplementation you take cysteine or NAC, N-acetylcysteine. This helps the liver and help the liver produce glutathione. So as I said below, there's a link to the article on joint pain, how to remove joint pains. I give you the full description of it on how to do the anti-inflammatory. And you're welcome to consult with me. I'll give you a free 30-minute health consultation, and I go over this with you and guide you and give you a map and direction as to how to bring you back to a level of joint pains. And this has worked for me. I've seen it work with friends. A friend, a 60-year-old friend, he had his joints were painful. He couldn't get out of the car. It was painful. Walking up the steps was painful. Having a shower and bending his knees was painful. Doing this process here, fixing his liver and getting the anti-inflammatory, putting him on X39, within 2.5 months, this problem was gone. He had this problem for over 10 years. But this is what speeded up the process rapidly with the nutrition involved here. So this is the game changer. Thank you for listening, and I trust I will hear from you and I will be able to guide you on your journey to recovering and reversing your joint pains naturally.